I started there at the end of 97, and I started in kind of an entry level accounting position doing journal entries, account reconciliations, things like that, kind of entry level accounting type stuff. And my job there progressed throughout the years. I was steadily promoted. I was associate accountant, staff accountant, senior accountant while I was with ReliaStar, and with each job upgrade, I had more duties, more responsibilities, and more trust within the organization. It was a really small accounting staff. There was a controller, assistant controller. I ended up in a accounting manager position, and then there was two or three other accountants under that. So it was always it fluctuated but it was normally about six accountants in this. So being a small department with kind of a high dollar business there, it was a little bit different than what I was used to in the past. So how it progressed, I quickly was promoted up those. ING came in about 2000 and purchased ReliaStar, and not much changed except for kind of some of the corporate things that came down, who we reported to, who we talked to as far as investment accounting, corporate accounts payable, the software that we used, the reporting software was the biggest thing, which was the biggest thing that led to what I did was the software. So the most surprising thing for me was that I didn't have any authority in any of our old systems, and I shouldn't have. As somebody who was a person that made entries and approved entries and made entered requests for wires and checks and things like that, I'm definitely somebody that should have never had any sort of approval. And it seemed like they just took the approvals from our old system and uploaded them into this matrix. But there were people on there, me and another employee, who I don't know where they would have got our name, how they would have got onto this sheet. It was definitely an error. So who knows across the board? I mean, there were thousands of people on this matrix that had approval authority, and most people probably didn't even know their name was on there if they weren't supposed to be an approver. Like in my case, I used that information because I needed to know who approvers were. So I just happened to stumble across myself on there and say, why would I have any approval authority? So yeah, at the time my wife and I both had great jobs, and we were making, great money. And the issue that arose was when my wife got pregnant, I got really it became really important to me. It always was important to me to look successful and not let people know that I was struggling in any way, especially financially. And I wasn't in a huge amount of debt. We had some credit card debt, we had our student loans, but our life was really good. And but I kind of got obsessed with, well, I need to be the provider, and I need to make sure my wife can stay home with the baby when she's born, and so I kind of got obsessed with that. And when I stumbled upon the ability to basically cut myself a check for up to $250,000, what really hit me was, I could just pay off a couple things, and then my salary will be fine to support us going forward if I just didn't have, this little credit card debt over here and this, student loan over here. If I didn't have to worry about those things, everything would be fine. And, it had been a couple years since I discovered the ability to do what I had the ability to do. But I was like, well, I'd never do that. And I just kind of pushed it to the side and stuff. But it was always in the back of my mind that, hey, I really do have access to a lot of money here. We literally, I might send 20, 30, 50 million a day out of our business. Like it was really, high. I've sent $50 million wires before. So, I'm looking at it, a $5,000 check as, as you're justifying and whatnot, how it's nothing to them kind of thing. So, yeah, I just got to the point where I decided, hey, I need to take this step to be the provider, and not that my family needed what I did, but it was solely me putting this on myself that I need to be the provider. I need to look successful to my family and friends and be there to be the man of the house kind of. So yeah, I literally went in one day and I said, I'm gonna do this, and all I did was I had a credit card that the name was obviously in the financial world. Insurance companies do business with financial companies. My credit card was a company we did business with, so I cut a check for around $1,100 to my credit card, and it just looked like a payment to a normal, like a commission or a refund or some a small commission. And I mailed it off to my credit card company, and the check cleared and the debt was paid off, and it was just a piece of cake. And I was like, it just kind of, in a very bad way, hit me as way too easy. It was not the thrill of getting away with it. I think the psychology behind it was really growing up. I grew up in a house with a lot of love. My education was good. I did well in school. I did well in sports. I did well socially with girls. I had all that stuff going on. But one thing we never had was money, and so that was the thing I focused on. So, part of my career in accounting was it's probably a well-paying job. And I just couldn't get past that money thing and that show of success where I need to show that I'm successful. I need to have the perfect marriage and the perfect house, and I need to have the money and the this and the that. And that was the real motivator behind taking it to that next level. Is okay, now that I'm fine and out of debt and I'm getting by, how do I show that I'm really successful? And so it was literally just to take the money and to start doing things that made it look like I was doing a lot better than I was.